Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well this wonderful Sunday. And I want to talk to you guys today about coping with twin flame loss. And that includes, your separation from your twin flame. Perhaps, you necessarily don't have to have lost them in terms of them passing on, but also we can lose our twin flames to a third party, to another person. Perhaps they don't want to be with us. We can lose them. And so it's all a loss, And so I've had my own journey with my twin flame, and I can tell you that the relationship can be quite intense with a twin flame. So is the love we feel for them. And so is the pain that they connect us with. And, especially with losses can be quite painful. And there was a time when I couldn't fathom being without my twin flame, much less losing him, as in terms of like passing over. Loss can be extremely painful. And there is one thing that I've learned through my personal experience with my twin flame is that there is something very specific that you can do to relieve that pain, okay? But before I go into that, I want to share with you, perhaps this will, ease some of the pain you might be feeling if you have lost your twin flame, that, you don't truly ever lose your twin flame. Whether they pass on, or they basically leave you for someone else or for some other reason, or because they don't want to be with you at the moment, or they don't talk to you. We feel it as a loss, but you never truly lose your twin flame. They will always be your twin flame, and they will always love you, and you will always love them, and you will always come back together again at some point, even if it's in another lifetime. So you will never truly lose your twin flame, okay? So I hope that eases some of that pain you might be perhaps feeling. But I want to say that, there is a much better way than just coping with your loss. Much, much better way. I've been a healer now for the past 16 plus years, and from what I understand, I've been a healer in many other lifetimes, so I have a very in-depth understanding how the soul works, how we process pain and how we sometimes don't process pain, and how we can heal our pain. And when I'm saying healing, I'm not talking about your normal, natural grieving process, okay? That takes forever, and sometimes going through that process, we don't fully heal our pain. And that's why we have quite often a lot of losses in the past that haven't been fully processed. And so what happens is that they add to the intensity of our present time loss. And I will share with you an interesting experience I had with a client at one point. This was an older gentleman who was a Navy SEAL during his lifetime. And they're very much trained not to feel, not to feel pain, not to feel any emotions. And this man has not cried, he told me, in the 40 years in front of his wife, ever, okay? And he came to me for a healing, and so we did. And we did a very simple healing of a loss that he had experienced as a young boy. And as he connected with it on a subconscious level, he started just crying because of all the emotion that was stuck in that incident, in that event of his loss of this dog that he lost. And he was so flabbergasted by what he was experiencing because he couldn't help himself, because once you connect with that pain, there is no holding back. It just comes flooding out. And so we did a healing for him, but he was so embarrassed and so flabbergasted by this experience that he decided not to come back to do more healings because it just took him aback so much. And he wasn't used to feeling his pain. So it was very overwhelming, I'm sure, for him. But nonetheless, the whole experience went to show you how much of our grief sometimes and our pain we still have stuck in those old experiences. And that energy of that, okay, of every loss you experienced, including your past life losses, is what comes flooding back at you in the present time moment when you experience another loss. And so sometimes the loss we experience at present time can be 100-fold more intense for us than it would be if we healed our past losses and just were experiencing this one-time loss. And I can tell you from personal experience that I've actually have experienced that, okay? I've experienced losses with my twin flame before I actually healed my past losses. And then I've experienced loss with my twin flame after I healed my losses. I can tell you that, and my twin flame has passed away, you know, about 3 years ago. And when he did pass away, my grief was nowhere near what my grief was several years back when I lost him to, you know, he just left me basically, has not passed away, but left me for someone else in that moment. But I tell you that it's been phenomenal, you know, when you don't have all that extra energy of losses come hitting you at once, how easily you can deal and cope with a loss in present time. I mean, it was basically one day of, you know, a few tears shed for me when he actually passed on. And then I was done with it. And I will never forget him. He will always be in my heart. And I know he's still out there as a soul, because when we die, I mean, we die physically, our body dies, but our soul does not die. You know, we live on. That's why we have past lives. And some of you may believe it, some of you may not. I've done lots of past life healings. For me, it's not a matter of believing it. For me, it's a matter of knowing it. And so I can tell you from firsthand experience that they're still around, and you're most likely going to meet them again. And the losses, once you heal those past losses, your present time loss is going to be like a piece of cake to overcome. You know, and it's okay to miss them and, you know, grieve for them. It's part of the natural process, but we don't have to, you know, experience it like 1,000 times more intensely, you know. And so the reason I'm sharing all this with you is to say that you have this opportunity to heal your past losses right now. I have presented you with a link to a talk that I did, a live talk at some point, that includes really kind of a mini healing, okay, guided healing, specifically for losses. And so and now it's available for replay for a very minimal, low donation cost, if you will. And the reason I charge for it is because it's important to have some kind of an exchange. You know, it pays for my work somewhat anyway, and you know, you are able to receive it better if there's some kind of an exchange. You want to keep that in balance in our universe. And I mean, you can have a private session with me, you know, but a private session is like $150 right now for 90 minutes, which is still a very reasonable price. I will be, by the way, upping my rates probably in the near future here because of everything going up. But, you know, this kind of mini healing session that I've done in the talk, with the talk that I'm offering you right now, is you can either pay $5, $20, or $50 as a donation based on your budget, and you can do a healing on yourself for loss. You can actually do multiple healings of losses. You know, you should repeat them for each loss and actually heal your past loss. And you can do the past life healings, because the guided healing I take you through is a professional healing. It's not your regular grieving process. It's a professional healing where I help you access your Akashic records to basically go to exact point where you experience the pain and help heal you in that pain in that moment with specific energies. And it's incredibly effective. Okay. So I hope you take advantage of it. If you're suffering, there's no reason to suffer. You know, you can do much better than coping with your loss of your twin flame. And what this will do is it'll also help you move on. Okay, so if, you know, you've lost them because they passed away, or if you lost them because they married somebody else, or you can't be with them because they're married to somebody else, or they don't want to be with you and don't talk to you right now, you know, it's a way for you to move on. The easiest way to move on is to heal our pain, because the only reason you cannot move on is because you have that pain still. Okay, so to move on, you heal that pain, and you're able to let go, and you can move on and be a much happier person. So I wish that upon you. That's why I'm doing this entire group. That's why I'm doing these programs that I'm doing. That's why I'm doing these talks, to basically help you in your journey to feel better, to rise in vibration, to overcome your fears, to, you know, get past things like losses. And I hope you take advantage of that. And I wish you a wonderful Sunday. Much love.